Hello everybody, this is Agent from ToPo bringing you episode 3 of Kamen Rider Revice. And it was an alright episode. Nothing crazy, nothing fantastic, but it was alright. I will say that I do like the twist at the end, but we'll get to that. So really this whole show is about Daiji, or this episode is about Daiji, aka Iki's little brother who was too much of a pussy to become Revice in episode 1. And it kind of revolves around how basically inadequate he feels compared to Iki, which I do understand, and I do actually really like how they're going with it. It's a very obvious plot, and I kind of hope that they do some kind of twist with it. I don't think they're gonna go with the obvious, oh, he just becomes evil and becomes the evil man, but then again, there's that rumor that the secondary writer is going to be based off evil writers, so it's gonna be kind of interesting. I'm actually really interested how that's gonna go. And again, this is another one of those episodes where the main plot isn't exactly the focus here. It's all about the characters. It's about what's going on with the familial relationship of Iki and his brothers, his sisters, and everything in between. And I actually really like that. I like the fact that we're going with that angle. It's actually really interesting, and I actually really like it because I'm not gonna lie, it's refreshing. It reminds me a lot of O's. I know I said this the last time, but it reminds me a lot of O's where the main plot is not the important thing, really. I mean, there is a main plot, there is a main villain, there's a goal for the main villains, but the plot is more centered around the characters, around the family. And I understand that, and I really like that, especially since they're not a perfect family. And I'm going to say this a lot, but I like that. I like how they're not perfect. They don't just love each other unconditionally. They don't just have the funnest of times every time. And it's cool, because basically the episode starts off with, I forgot her name, Aguilera, there you go. I have to remember this. Aguilera talking to Gifu. And they're basically saying how many times they're going to have to sacrifice somebody with V-stamps to get him to revive, or her. We don't really know what it is. It's just a statue at this point. So after that, we get a kind of shady reveal of our new V-stamp owner, but we don't actually get to see her. So, wonder what that's about. After that, we basically, once again, just go right into the main thing with Daiji. And he's talking with his mother, being told, like, hey, look, you're not like your brother. Get over it. You know, you're not going to be your brother. You're not like your brother. That's okay. And I like that idea. And again, that's why I'm kind of hoping that they do something interesting with the whole he kind of gets jealous of Iki plot, where the message isn't so much get the fuck over it, he's the main character. It's get the fuck over it, everyone's different. You can't live your life solely based or aspiring to be someone that's either better than you or older than you. And I really like that idea, and I kind of hope they do go with it, because that's kind of what I'm getting from this episode. But again, it's early days, episode 3. We gotta wait for next week to see what goes on with that. But again, very interesting. This episode also does something that I absolutely love, and that is kung fu fights in a playground. Because, my god, using playgrounds for kung fu fights is always fun. Like, seriously, look at some Jackie Chan movies, for example. It's great. This episode also has the debut of Julio as a fighter. Yes, he actually comes in to fight Revice for the first time. And it's kind of interesting because he is pretty strong, and they do admit that. But I kind of feel like I wouldn't say they jobbed him out, because that's completely untrue. He didn't lose, but he retreated. And it kind of feels like there was a little, I'm trying to think of the word that doesn't sound like he lost. It just feels like it was a little too early to do that. And I feel like they could have done it a bit better. But again, that's just a nitpick at that point. So again, back to Daiji. Well, I should say the episode revolves around somebody getting kidnapped. But again, it doesn't really matter. What matters is Daiji. And Daiji goes after Iki follows the kidnapper, where he stole his sister and his love interest, from what they're saying. It looks to be. I mean, we'll see what goes from there. But after they follow there, Daiji goes to the Phoenix headquarters and basically tells I can't remember. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. It's Mark, right? It's Mark. No, it's George. There you go. It's George. He basically goes to tell George, hey, give me some vice stamps. George is like, aight, here you go. And he basically sees the new belt. I don't think we actually have a name for the new rider because, of course, scans are very few in between now. But I don't think we have a name for the new rider, but there's a belt. So he grabs the belt and asks George, hey, can I use this? And we cut there. So we don't see what happens. So Daiji comes in and he gives one of the vice stamps to Julio because Julio said, hey, you give me the vice stamp, I'll let your sisters go. Obvious bullshit, and Daiji's an idiot. So, right off the bat, he's a fucking idiot. So he gives Julio the vice stamp, and Julio says himself, hey, you know what? You are way, way smarter than your brother, but at the same time, you are stupid as fuck. And he betrays him, obviously, and he gets knocked out. Iki is then left to do everything on his own. His sister Sakura is able to escape the kidnapper because he's not the one who used the vice stamp, actually. That's what we get revealed. He's not the one who used the vice stamp. And basically the day is saved. And then we get a flashback to what happened with that conversation with Daiji and George. So basically, Daiji's like, hey, give me this belt. I want to use it. I need to use it. I have to protect my sisters. And George is like, no, you fucking don't. What, you too much of a fucking pussy to use it last time? What do you think you're going to do it this time? Get out of here. And then Fuku for Amazons basically says the same thing, only angrier. He basically just says, you're a pussy, do your job, no, we're not giving you the belt, fuck out of here. And you know what? It's hilarious. And again, this is also where we get the seeds planted of him maybe, again, if the rumors are true that the secondary writer is based on villain writers, it is very much heading to that direction because he does have a little bit of a dark streak to him. There's something there. So I'm really interested to see where that goes. And then, end of the episode, we basically get the big reveal that Ayaka, aka Iki's love interest from earlier in the episode, is potentially the one who used the vice stamp. I, on the other hand, think it was not her. I'm going to say, and I'm going to be bold, to say that it was the little sister that we saw earlier in the episode when they dropped her off to hang out with Sakura. I'm just going to put that out right now. I just had that feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will just be Vince McMahon all along. I don't know, but we'll see. Overall, it was a very interesting episode. And again, there's not much to talk about when it comes to the main plot because the main plot itself isn't the main plot of the episodes aren't the important thing. And I'm actually really enjoying that idea, especially since we just came off an entire season of characters not mattering. I'm glad that we're back to that. So we'll see where this goes. But that's all I got to say about that for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Look at all these other videos because I know you're fantastic that way. And I'll see you guys more next week.